Hello students, I'm Damini and we were studying about the industries. We are doing this on behalf of personal tutors that we begin with the next main part, Agrobased industries. So we have already done till now industries, their classification, as well as what are the factors which decide the location of industries. When we were discussing about the classification, we said that classification is based on different criteria. And then we said there are industries which get raw material from agriculture. So, industries which get their raw material from agriculture are called as agro-based industries. Agro-based industries have become important as of now. They have been basically a new development in the field of agriculture. Cotton, textiles and sugarcane were already the traditional industries which existed in our country, but then recently it has been the horticulture, the poultry farming which have gained a lot of importance and have brought about an industrial development in the region, in the rural regions. So though we'll be mainly dealing with cotton, textiles and sugarcane as well as silk industries, we know that these are the new industries which have helped in the industrialization of the rural areas. Now when we deal about sugar industry, you are familiar that this is basically made, the sugar is basically obtained from sugarcane. It is the raw material grown on the fields from where we get the sugar. I mean, after manufacturing it, we get the sugar. So when we are speaking about sugarcane industries, you really need to understand how this is being produced. What are the other products that are being produced other than sugar, and what are the other products, and what are the byproducts, what is the waste that comes out from the sugar industry, how it is utilized. So when we are speaking about sugar industry, we had said that sugarcane is mainly produced in the northern belt, Indo-Gangetic belt, UP and Bihar, and then we also said that a better quality cane is produced in the southern part of the country. We gave the reason that here the climate is tropical, that the cane that is produced is of thicker variety as compared to the thinner cane of the northern India. This has a higher sucrose content. Now when we speak about sugarcane, we say that sucrose content plays an important role in manufacture of sugar. So we had done a comparison of what kind of sugarcane is produced in the North India and what kind of sugarcane is produced in southern India. We had listed out that there are cooperatives which help in better production, which help in better management, and the soil is black soil which is more fertile as compared to the soil in the northern India, and that is how the cane produced here is of better quality. Now when we speak about sugar industries, these are mainly confined in UP and Bihar. This is the main region where they are confined. You are generally asked questions like, name a center in UP for sugar industry. So that will be your first part, a center of sugar industry in Uttar Pradesh. So in that case you can write Gorakhpur, Lakhimpur. Though these are cities, the question paper tends to ask them as the centers. So you need to remember at least about the leading producer states, that is Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. When we are speaking about Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, we are saying in Uttar Pradesh, Gorakhpur, Lakhimpur, Meerut. In Bihar, it is Champaran and Darbhanga. I mean, you need to know the names of these cities in case you need to write the centers. Generally, this will be, if at all it is asked, it is a 1-mark question or it is a 2-mark question that has been asked. Now, why are they confined in either of these two states? Reasoning plays a very important role on how you answer the question. Reasoning questions are quite frequent. So you need to know why are they found in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So the first thing that you look into it is that it's in a region where alluvial soil exists. So fertile soil is there. Fertile alluvial soil is already present in this northern plains. This is called as the northern plains. If you classify the various parts of India, this is the northern plain. Here you have read that this soil is replenished every year by the deposits that are being brought in by the rivers. And sugarcane is a soil exhausting crop. We had said that it's on the field for almost 8 to 12 months. So that means it takes away the fertility from the soil. And then we are also saying that this region gets replenished by the alluvial that is being brought by the rivers every year. So this is a fertile alluvial plain in the northern part of the country where sugarcane is grown. And the region has heavy rainfall. The region has heavy rainfall. For sugarcane, we need well distributed throughout the year. For growing sugarcane, we need rainfall that is well distributed. Now, rainfall may not be distributed throughout the year, but it may be distributed within those 4 months of monsoon, June, July, August and September. But since this region has lots of perennial rivers which rise from the glaciers in the Himalayas, the development of irrigation facility is good over here. Then there are a lot of perennial rivers which flow through this region, and that has helped in the development of irrigation. With the help of irrigation, the rainfall, the water can be supplied to the fields throughout the year. So fertile northern plains with good amount of rainfall as well as irrigation facilities. It's a level land, it's a plain, a level plain where the growth of sugarcane can be done, and there are perennial rivers which help in irrigation. Now, since this is a plain area, agriculture is the main occupation of the people of the country. This part is very densely populated. This region is a densely populated region, and because of that, the skilled and the unskilled labor is easily available. There is cheap labor available for the cutting of the sugarcane as well as for the mills where it has to be processed. So there is cheap labor for not only for harvesting the cane. After it is being harvested, it is brought to the mills. Bringing to the mills is within 24 hours after harvesting, and then it further is made into sugar. Now this requires different work to be done. Like they clean after it comes from the mill. It is thoroughly, after it comes from the farm, it is thoroughly cleaned. All the soil and everything has to be removed with the fresh water. So now the fresh water is required for cleaning the cane, and then it is cut into smaller parts, and then it is set into rollers to be crushed. So this requires quite a lot of labor over here to take out the juice, to wash the cane, then it has to be cut into different parts, then it has to be boiled. There are various different stages, so that first the cleaning of the juice is done, and then crystallization is done to make it into crystals. So for all this purpose, labor is required, which is easily available in this area, in the northern plains area. The cheap labor is easily available, which can be utilized for in the mill for various functions which go on, for various purposes which go on over there. So then we have that we need fresh water also for washing the sugar, or for spraying the warm water when the juice is taken out, for various purposes. This area is very well connected by the roads, railways, as well as the river water transport is developed in case you want to go. So that is also well developed. Area is well connected by roads and railways. How does it help well connected by roads and railways? The sugarcane has to be brought from the field to the mill. So if the transport network is well developed, it's easy to bring the sugarcane from the farm to the field, to the mill. The transportation has to be also very good over there. And then taking the finished product from here to the various markets where it can be sold. Then other than this, there is densely populated. Densely populated also provides us with a huge market. People are going, it's a thing which can be easily consumed. So sugar can be bought by the people who live in that particular densely populated area. So sale of this is easily possible because of the dense population. We need electricity to run the mill. So that means that power supply has to be good. And this power supply is brought about from the Jharkhand and this Chota Nagpur area. So power supply from Jharkhand and Bihar. The coal, thermal power plants, coal helps them in power supply. So this coal can be obtained from Jharkhand and Bihar. So these are the various factors why sugar mills are located in northern India. We are saying availability of water supply, we are saying coal mines of Jharkhand and Bihar, we are saying it is well connected by roads and railways, there is a high density of population which not only gives us cheap labor but also provides us with a huge market, and then fertile alluvial land where sugarcane can be easily grown and brought to the raw material can be easily grown and brought to the field. Now this was about the northern India, and then we had also said that a lot of sugarcane production areas have been shifting towards the southern India. They have been migrating now. This is an important part that you need to remember. Which industry is migrating towards south and why? You need to remember here which industry is migrating towards south and why. So when we are saying which industry is migrating towards south, it is sugarcane industry. And why it is migrating towards south, you have to remember, one is black cotton soil, which is a very, very fertile soil. The black cotton soil is a very fertile soil. So whatever the nutrients are required by the sugarcane are provided by the black cotton soil. Then secondly, you need to remember that this is a tropical climate. Tropical climate means there will be, the region has no summer loose. The hot wind that blows in the northern part of the country is not prevalent over here. This is harmful for the growth of sugarcane. And the frost also, we had discussed, does not allow the cane to grow further. So that is also absent in the southern part of India. That is, the region has a tropical climate. The growing season is comparatively one which is throughout the year. They can grow the sugarcane throughout the year. So that is another reason why it has been migrating towards south. thirdly, you have to remember is that this region is having cooperatives which are better managed. These are group of people who organize themselves, a group of people who organize themselves in such a manner that they produce the raw material as well as make the final product from it. They have organized themselves for their own benefit into such a manner that they grow the sugar cane. They see to it that the cane is of better quality, that the farmer gets a good quality of maybe the set or the ratoon, and then they produce a better quality of sugar cane, and from that we get a good quality of sucrose, and they have provided them with banking facilities, good machinery, chemical fertilizers. Then they have even seen to it that the mills are within a kilometer of 25 kilometers, so that the juice doesn't dry up by the time it reaches the mills, by the time the sugarcane reaches the mills. So this is another reason why the sugarcane or the sugar mills are shifting towards the southern side. Now, once we are done with the regions of production, you need to know the products of the sugarcane industry. When we speak about the products of the sugarcane industry, there are basically three things that you get out of it. This is obtained just by boiling the sugarcane juice. We have gur, we have khansari, and we have sugar. So this is obtained in a vessel. They take out the juice and they just boil the juice. Sugarcane juice is just whatever juice is collected. They don't separate the bagasse from the a large part of bagasse from the sugarcane. I mean, the juice is taken out, and whatever is the pulp that comes in is included in the manufacture of gur. So this is just boiling it, making it thicker till it becomes, the juice becomes thicker. They boil it and then they turn them into balls. And it's free of any kind of chemicals. So that is how it is very widely, considered to be more hygienic and considered to be health-wise more better than the sugar that we consume, which has been refined a number of times. First, the juice is taken out, then by the process of adding lime, they filter out all the impurities, then they further filter it by certain other processes, and they make it a finer white colored sugar. So this process does not take place in case of the gur. And Khansari is also quite similar to the manufacture of gur, except that they make them into grains. They dry them and make them into grains through some kind of machines. So it's converted into grains with the help of machine. Even this is a sugar which is considered to be very good for the health. It's not considered to be as bad as this one, though this provides us with the energy, but then it has been refined with the use of certain chemicals which we indirectly consume when we are eating sugar. So these are the three main things that we need from the sugar, from the sugar cane. But then other than this, there are certain byproducts. In making this, there are certain other things that we obtain. In making this, we obtain the press mud. When I'm saying press mud, the jar in which the juice gets collected has small particles of the cane. The cane has been crushed and certain particles have come down, and if you leave the juice to settle down, the small particles are found here. Now these are generally used after the juice has been taken away. The small particles, or after it has been filtered, this is used for making wax and shoe polish. So you'll have to remember the 3 byproducts and what are their uses. If I'm saying press mud, what is it? It's the residue that has been left at the bottom of the jar. This residue is utilized for making wax and shoe polish. Then other than this, there is crushing of the cane, and whatever is left, this wood, is called as bagasse. This is used for making softer things, paper, manufacture of paper and certain things like that. And in the process of sugarcane, manufacture of sugar, it is constantly boiled several times. At the end of it, in the last stage, it's being constantly being boiled, and in the last stage, a dark brown liquid comes out. This liquid is called as molasses. Okay, this is utilized for making alcohol or certain of those things. So these are the 3 byproducts. These are the products, and this is what we have said about 2 important regions. Now look at the problems of sugarcane cultivators, sugarcane mills and their those who are producing the sugar. If we look at the problems, you need to understand it's a soil exhausting crop. So farmer may not be able to grow it every year on the same field because it takes away a lot of fertility from the soil. It's a weight losing crop. It is, when it is being purchased, it is purchased on the basis of its weight. That this is the weight of it, and that is how the mill owners purchase it. But then while transferring it from one place to another, it's the sugar loses its, or even if the farmer brings it to the mill, it's a weight losing crop. The sucrose content goes on decreasing, goes on drying as you transfer it from one place to another. So we do say that it has to be done within 24 hours, but then also it's a crop which is weight losing, soil exhausting. So the farmer may not take interest in growing into it every year, but may grow it 1 year and may not grow it 1 year. So its production will suffer. Secondly, it's in northern India particularly, the crushing season is small. It begins from November and goes on till February. The last year grown sugarcane, which was grown last year in October, is harvested in October and is sent to the mills within few days, or maybe grown in November and harvested in November, sent to the mills in the month of November. And then there is availability throughout those 2-3 months, but then after that the mill workers, they don't really have any other work. They lie idle. I mean, they don't have much work to be done, because of which the mill suffers. Old and obsolete machinery is another drawback, that the machineries are not very updated, that the machineries are not very new ones, and that is how the mill owners may face problems. That is another reason for problems faced by the sugarcane growers. Now, after we have done with sugarcane, we look into next important industry, that is the cotton textile. Now this again is traditionally a very well known, in fact in Middle Ages the cloth from India was a very popular one. Say we got the muslin from Dhaka. The cloth from India was very popular, and it was like a very well-known industry in our country. So we are saying cotton textile is another industry which is a popular industry in our country. Now when we speak about cotton textile, it is mainly grown on the black soil. So Maharashtra is one of the states which is a leading producer state of cotton textile. But then there are other areas which have also developed, like Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, which have also developed in the field of cotton textile. So when we look at Maharashtra, it is the most important cotton producing state. When you are attempting questions on cotton textile, you can be asked questions like give any 3 reasons why Maharashtra is popular for cotton textiles. So they can ask you why Tamil Nadu and Kolkata, in West Bengal, Kolkata is very popular for cotton textiles. So when we look at Maharashtra, it is an important producing area. Nearly 40% of the mills are located here, and it's known as the Cottonopolis of India. Now this is the significance of cotton textile in Maharashtra, most important cotton producing state. Nearly 40% of the mills here, and it's called as the cotton polis. They can ask you this as a one mark. Name the state which is known as the cotton polis. Please, when they ask you state, mention Maharashtra. When they ask you center, write Bombay or Ahmedabad or whatever it is. But for state, you have to be very, very specific with this one, that Maharashtra is a state which is known as cotton polis. Now, why sugarcane is grown over here? It is a region rich for black soil. So black cotton soil is found in this particular region where cotton is easily. That means raw material is easily available over here. Production of cotton because of presence of black cotton soil. It's again a soil exhausting crop. So it's grown with other crops. But then the raw material is easily available from here. Secondly, what happens is that the cotton thread requires humid climate. If it is a dry climate, the thread will break easily. But then if it is a humid climate, the thread will not break easily. So humid climate, mainly in the main center. Bombay is one of the main centers here which produces cotton. So that has a humid climate, and that is why most of the cotton mills are in Mumbai or in the region where the climate is humid. Now this region gets cheap hydroelectricity from the Tata hydroelectric power station in Western Ghats. Western Ghats has developed the hydroelectricity here. So hydroelectricity is easily available from this particular region. So when we are speaking about Mumbai, this is the region where raw material is available. This is the region where hydroelectricity is available. Then Mumbai has an international port from where the sale of the good quality cloth can be done. The region also has soft water easily available for dyeing, for washing and for other purposes. The region has important rivers here from which the water is available. Then it's an international port. We have said this is again a densely populated region. Mumbai is one of the regions where many industries are there, and region is very densely populated. So we have skilled as well as unskilled labor which can provide us with to work in the mills. This region is also a market for finished goods. So we don't have to transport it to far off places. Most of the material is sold within the region itself. Well connected with its hinterland. Hinterland means the area just behind this particular city. The cotton producing area is well connected with Mumbai, and that is how the cotton is easily available to the people, to the mills in the cotton Mumbai. Another important state is Gujarat, where Ahmedabad is an important cotton producing center. Now this is the second largest producer with 23% of the cotton mills. Again, humid climate so that the thread doesn't break. And again, this region has also black soil from where the raw material is easily available. This region again has electricity, cheap electricity from here. And then it has Kandla port as well as Mumbai port for the export of the ready-made or finished goods. Other than Ahmedabad, we have Tamil Nadu and Kolkata. In Tamil Nadu, you will remember the two centers, Coimbatore and Madurai, where the cloth is being manufactured. Here the number of mills are not very high, but this region is known for the production of yarn, and it's known as the Manchester of southern India. This you need to remember here. When we look at West Bengal, here Kolkata is the major port with humid climate. The thread will not break, finished products can be exported, machinery can be imported, coal is easily available from Raniganj fields in West Bengal, and again water is through the coal is easily available. Water is available from this Hooghly river, which is there. The fresh water for washing and dyeing of the cloth is available from Hooghly river. Coal from Raniganj, humid climate. It's a major port from where the finished products can be exported and the machinery can be brought in. Now, what are the problems faced by this particular industry, by the cotton textile? Most of the cotton producing areas after independence have gone to Pakistan. So there is scarcity of raw material. We don't have so much of raw material as much can be utilized, and there is scarcity of this shortage of raw material. We don't have the long staple cotton area has gone to Pakistan, while we have the medium and the short staple. So the quality of the cloth may not be very good, but because the long staple cotton area has been given away after partition. Secondly, there are obsolete old machinery, 20 to 30-year-old machinery. Because of that also the mills have become sick. Sometimes the machinery doesn't work, the mills have become sick. And then inadequate power supply. Because of the increase in the population, many cities face the problem of power supply. So if there is no power supply in the industry, the workers cannot do any work. For the duration, there is no power supply. And then that becomes a problem for the mill owners and even for the people who have the targets to finish a particular work in a particular specified time. Other than this, there is also stiff competition. From nowadays, we have started getting cheaper synthetic cloths. So cotton textiles has to face the competition from these synthetic material which are easily available from other countries. May not be from our country, but from other countries this cheaper material is available. So the cotton textile faces the competition from that also. Under cotton textile, you'll basically remember why is this popular, why is Kolkata popular, and why is Ahmedabad a popular center for the production of cotton textile. You need to remember the problems faced, and you need to remember the names of centers, at least 2 centers from the leading states, and maybe another 2 from this other 2 states which are there. With this, we finish with the cotton, textile and sugar industries. We'll begin with the silk industry tomorrow and then begin with the mineral based industries. Thank you.